The last place was Starbucks. That was like the last. That was my final nail in the coffin in corporate America, bro. I liked it. I actually liked it. I got along with a lot of cool people, and but there was an issue. That's why I fucking hate working with people, bro. That's why I'm a very independent person, and that's why I push myself to get this shit down because like I wanted to make sure that I would never be in a position to work a job, bro. The only place that I work at now is just at our family restaurant, but that's because that is a choice, bro. That is to be there for my grandma. She needs all the help she can get, bro. Like she has fucking nobody. The only people that literally work there now is just family. And I'm the only person that she can really rely on. And that's a burden that I stacked on myself, Just there alone, bro, fuck, man. I work 65 plus hours a week. And then after I get out, I still come back and fucking grind. Give me shit. Don't give me shit that you don't have time. You have a passion for something, you will find a way to make it work. So with what I wake up at like if on good days, like 5:30 to 5:40 a.m. And net, bro, like when I'm really exhausted, I'll wake up at like 6:30. The second I get up, bro, I'm fucking ready to work. I'll check the charts, make my fucking coffee. I'll have a cigarette just to get my brain going. I'll take a walk around the neighborhood. I'll come back, look at the charts, journal, update you guys on the Discord. Then I got to get ready to fucking head to the restaurant. While I'm getting ready, I'm fucking listening to audios in the background. I'll get a quick workout in if I can. And then I'm looking at charts as I'm getting ready, still updating you guys. By this time, it's already kind of like mid New York session. By 10:30 a.m., I'm darting out the house. I go over there. I told my grandma, "I'll help you out, grandma, but with the only condition that I'm able to work. Bring my work here." She's like, "Yeah, that's fine, mijo. Like I understand you got a business and this and that." So I bring my laptop. I bring my shit over there, man. I have to bring my laptop, my journals, and when it's slow, when I have downtime, is when like I'm still looking at markets, bro. And I make it work. So I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do that there because obviously, had it been anywhere else, it's no fucking way. But and then I get out. If it's slow, usually around 9 p.m. But dude, on busy days, I'm home till like 10:30, 11 p.m. Like I said, I still come home and I do this shit. There's never a fucking excuse, man. And I'm probably going to bed normally on most days like 12 p.m., 1 a.m. every morning. And then I do that shit round the fucking clock, bro. I'm tired. I get exhausted. That's probably why I mentally burn out and collapse. And I'm like the markets, bro. I go high and then I collapse lower. I have my moments. I'm a very emotional person, so like I burn out very quickly. But sometimes I even push through that shit, man. I push through it. No matter how tired I am, I push through it. So yeah, man, like I said, I share that stuff with you guys, so you see that is the level of commitment that this shit takes. The sacrifices that you have to fucking make to get this down, bro. And as I said, Kenny, like I know you have a lot of shit going on, but like that's what I'm trying to illustrate to you is that sacrifices have to be made, with whatever it is going on in your life. There's never an excuse to not be able to get this shit down. I will never preach about anything that I will never give you guys advice on shit that I'm not qualified to give you on. I will never I'm not a hypocrite, bro. The one thing I hate is being a hypocrite. If I'm telling you to do something, it's because I've either done it or it's because I'm doing it already. And I'm telling you, I've paid my fucking prices. I've paid a lot of them, man, and they were painful. Not only in just money lost, but in things sacrificed, in decisions that had to be made. Anyways, back on that point, yeah, like with Starbucks, so things were going well, and then somebody had like spread it was like a fucking supervisor that I was already not getting along with because they were always like, oh, you have to do it this way and this way, and I'm the type of guy, bro, it's like, bro, if you have a fucking brain, use it. If I can find a more efficient, effective, and better way to do it, I'm gonna fucking do it. I don't care what the rules are, because this way is faster, more cleaner, and the end result is still the fucking same. What the hell is the problem? And that's why I can't work in corporate America, bro, because they want you to stay within the confines of your fucking box. I'm like, dude, I found a better way. What are you bitching about? The result's still the same. And I guess that would just piss him off. And then he spread a rumor about like I made a threatening comment to him or whatever. Then the manager got involved, and then they brought the district manager, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we hear that you're making threats and this and that." That's I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Nobody threatened this little bitch, man. And I was like, you know what, bro? I just got up and I was like, you know what? Just I'm not even gonna give a 2 weeks notice, bro. I already know what this is about. You guys are gonna fire me over something that's not even true. I walked the fuck out, bro, and I just said, fuck you guys, bro. And you just hear everybody in the background like, damn, it was a big fucking scene that day, man, and in front of customers. So when I truly don't give a fuck about something, bro, I'll make it known. I'm a very outspoken person. Not that that's something to be proud of, but I've always been a very independent minded person. Um, it's just like I said, I don't do very well when I feel confined or chained down to things. So I don't know where that came from, bro. As I said, I think it just came from the childhood that I had to live. It sucked a lot of the time. Um, my mom just dragging us along. Every bro, I we did a lot of moving when I was a kid, a lot of fucking moving around, so that's why it's very hard for me to develop relationships because when I was younger, I had to develop that coping mechanism of, oh, well, what's the point of making friends if tomorrow I'm gonna have to say goodbye? And that was painful. So I was like, I always stayed to myself. I was very secluded, isolated from a very young age. Um, and then from there, the moving around, the constant moving around, I fucking hated it, because California was my home, so we would move from California to here to fucking elsewhere, bro. We moved around a lot, and constantly changing schools, constantly changing cities. I was just like, fuck, man. So I hated it because I would always we had no say in it. So I always felt trapped. There was nothing we could do, and even if we had a say in it, my mom didn't give a fuck. Didn't care about how we felt. Just cared about how she felt at that moment in time. So yeah, man. Life is gonna mold your experiences, make you a very unique person in your own right, and you just have to learn how to mold with that. So I think that's why trading resonated with me because I was already a bit of a loner. So I felt like this is perfect, bro. I don't have to fucking talk to anybody really. Now, obviously, I've taken a different path with teaching, and I love it because I love to see that flame in your guys' eyes. This is what I get to pass on, and I think that's a very fulfilling way to live your life. Jim Rohn said it best, study, practice, and teach. Um, there's no life worth living if you have nothing to leave behind to anybody, whether that's a fucking book, a journal, wisdom, anything, man. Just leave a piece of you behind. If it's gonna help someone somewhere out there, even if it's one person, bro, one person's life that you could possibly change, that's a life well lived. So you guys could be those next few, that maybe one day you guys start to teach this shit, man. If I'm long gone, dead and gone, bro, what if you teach this to your kids? Or to somebody in your family that you see struggling and they're genuinely interested. You're like, hey, bro, I could teach you about this stuff, man. And then that's how a different journey starts. Or what if you start to manage money for your family? You get to change their fucking lives because they're actually good at what you do. You take commissions off that, bro. Or you just make over performance. You promise them a fixed interest rate per month because you know your data. You're like, you make X amount and I could just, pay them this and then I keep the difference. He's just making more money. There's so many ways around this, man. So trading opens up a door to so many avenues of life and money. So don't sleep on that. But anyways, man, yeah, sorry I rambled on there. It's a little bit of a personal touch, but yeah, point of that conversation is there's not a fucking excuse. None of you have any excuse. No matter how busy you think you are, no matter what you got going on in your life, nobody has enough. Don't ever tell me you're too busy, bro. Or that you don't have time. It comes down to what you prioritize in your life. Since the start of the year, man, I've made it clear. I've made it very clear. Hey, this year we're gonna fucking hit it hard with meetings, with our process, with our performance, with this, and I've delivered on every front. Yes, it's obviously it's impossible to think that we're gonna, like I said yesterday, I couldn't make the meeting because my uncle was driving me around when I was helping him move stuff. So I didn't have my car. So had I had my own car, I'd be like, hey, dude, it's time to go. I gotta fucking go. Sorry, man. But we had to move. We went to go see a fucking movie afterwards. And then by the time we got out, it was 8:40 and everyone was hungry. So we're like, fuck, let's go get some wings. And then I didn't get home till like almost 12. I was like, yeah, there's no way, man. I'm too fucking tired to even do the meeting right now. But here we are. Dude, you got to deliver on what you say you're gonna do. So there's never an excuse, man. There's always yeah, as I said, it's going to be unrealistic to think that we're always going to be here every Monday or every Wednesday, but net, we've been really, really consistent, and that's all that matters. And you guys have been consistent, so be proud of you for dedicating yourself to this. Because I know there's a million other things that you could be doing right now. But instead, you're choosing to take an hour or two of your time, of your day to be like, dude, I'm going to dedicate myself to my craft. I promise you, it's going to pay off. I promise you, I promise you. So, anyways, it looks like this is all we're going to have for today's meeting. It's good to have everyone here. Today's touch, man, I think we're just going to do a little bit of review on some of the setups. We're going to scan some charts. We're gonna scan some. Oh, there we got Sal there, man. Perfect, perfect. We're just about to get started, man. How you doing, Sal? What's cracking with you?
Yo, what's up, man? Everything's good. Just came back from meeting with the fam.
Nice, nice, man. Glad you can make it. Glad you're here. We're literally just about to start everything, so super cool you can make it. Yeah, I want today's training to be pretty straightforward. I want to see where I want to have more of a personal conversation with everyone. I want to see where you're at with things, what's complex about our process, or if there's areas that you're personally struggling with, or maybe that you lack understanding in. That's what I want to pretty much touch up on. I thought maybe, I guess, how we opened this conversation was pretty good. I want to talk about more of the grim realities of trading, man. What it comes with, the burdens that you got to stack on your back. But before we get into all of that, we're just going to do a quick review on how our trades are performing. We're going to scan some charts to see what opportunities might present themselves this week. Last week was a little bit grueling in terms of, I mean, I've scanned a lot of things. There was really not much opportunity. Some things did move, but I mean, even the trades that we were in, some of them barely moved. That we were fortunate enough that we made money on the dollar CAD a little early. But other than that, man, we this week more last week was pretty much spent holding these fucking trades. And on top of that, it's been a slow start to the week already, which is normal. But we do have some high impact news tomorrow. CPI. So is it CPI? I think it's CPI. Yep, CPI. So get ready for that. That's gonna create a lot of volatility in the markets. It is midweek as well, Wednesday, midweek, so we could have some very explosive moves tomorrow, either in continuation formations or midweek reversals. So be prepared for that. So yeah, and then after that, we're just gonna have some conversations, man. I want us to get a little bit more familiar with where we're at with everything mentally, and any questions that you guys might have for me, feel free to ask away. But I pretty much gave you guys a brief um, summary in a nutshell of some of the shit that I've had to endure. And there's so much more, man. So much more I could bang about, but I don't really want tonight to be about me. I want it to be about you guys. So, anyways, let's start with the majors, man. Let's start with the Euro USD. Actually, let's take a look at the dollar. Let's work our way with some of the macro markets. So let's see what's going on with the dollar. I'm personally still convinced that we still see dollar strength. We still have this structure intact, very much intact. Possible that as I said, that can we expect a scenario like this? Absolutely nothing is well within out of the realm of possibility in the markets. The markets can do some crazy shit. Do I think we dip lower? No, but it can't happen. So tomorrow's going to be some high impact news. We do have, as I said, the structure very much intact, pullback, return move, breakout, continuation, and now we're just skidding lower. What does have me at an anchor point, this negative candle close. So these are, as we've discussed over and over, very good signs of a bottom. They're usually strong. It doesn't mean that you can't tickle the low a little bit. Maybe you could even breach it if you wanted to, and then work your way higher. But net, this should be a solid localized low. We still have a geometric target that has to be met. No, it doesn't have to. Markets can do whatever the fuck they want. But if price were to go anywhere, definitely at 109, possibly 110. So we're still net long the dollar. That should be good for our dollar CAD position. Anything against the dollar should obviously see weakness. 10-year. Let's take a look at the 10-year because this actually affects the dollar. Let's clean this up. 10-year just keeps grinding higher. It would take a lot to convince me that we're just going to collapse from here. Could we put in a marginally lower low? Absolutely. And we could just work our way higher. We could create some type of geometric structure. We could tap back into the 4.4% mark. But yeah, no, yeah, it could get tricky. It could get tricky because we do have, as I said, a compression funnel here. I'm betting that it pretty much made the target. So it could get. I do think that we will see an extended period. This much I know. For how long, anybody's fucking guess. But this much I do know. I think that we see some stabilization in rates. I do believe macro, we are still long-term up in rates, and that's not going to be good. That's absolutely not good. But we could stay well confined within this range. Hell, if we wanted to for the rest of the year. If we really wanted to, and into 2025. If we don't create this scenario here, it's very likely that we dip lower and then create another type of volatility compression funnel, and then boom, start working our way higher. Or you could create a macro one here. But these are the more likely outcomes. You contract within this high and this low. If we breach that low, expect to see some type of funnel down here, and then boom, resumption of higher rates. But yeah, this could play out for months, if not into 2025. So I do think we do see some stabilization in rates. And with that said, I think the volatility in the dollar is still going to be there. But if we do see some stabilization in rates, I think that's going to keep pumping the dollar higher. Money's still going to flock to the dollar if rates are still better than other currencies, than other economies. So that should be more than enough to at least take us to the 109, 110 on the dollar. So yeah, rates for us, as I said, rates are highly important. Why? Because interest rates dictate the valuation of a currency. The higher the rates in a particular country, the more foreign investment it attracts because you're generating a safer and better yield. If America is paying just to hold cash, or in market mutual funds or whatever, 4.4%, 5%, while the fucking Eurozone is paying 2%, where the fuck are you going to take your money? Clearly the States. So that's how rates work in a nutshell, man. It attracts foreign investments when you have high rates, and that's generally good for currencies. Lower rates, obviously, mean a lower currency. Stock market, this shit keeps pumping higher, man. I do think we're getting close to a collapse eventually, and the reason that this starts to get scary is because pay attention to how price just grinds its fucking way higher in a very slow, consistent fashion. This type of action just catches people off guard. Narrow range candles, consistent trend, and then boom, look at the fucking velocity of that. And it happens over and over and over again. Look how slow it is to the top, and look how quickly it dumps. Slow to the top, dump. So there's consistency with those type of patterns in the stock market. And that's why it starts to get scary, because whenever I start to see the market grind slowly higher, I just would not be surprised to see some type of aggressive spike lower. And that's obviously not going to be good for risk on assets. We're in reset times. Anything could happen. Something to be aware of. Was calling the gold long. I still think we have this micro target to be made, and I still think it gets met. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's going to get nicked. What it does from there, anybody's fucking guess. We don't trade gold. One of our guys, Scott, does, but he's mainly a scalper, so I don't really think there's going to be much benefit to him, other than like bias and direction. But gold going up, if it makes target and it collapses, that's also going to be good for the dollar, bro. So no matter what the fuck, if the stock market crashes, if you sell markets, indexes, equities, what do you think you're selling it for? Dollars. If gold goes down, the knock on effect of that is a higher dollar. If rates go up, just the dollar has the edge, bro. Like the dollars, I think we're trying to weaponize the dollar to completely collapse other currencies. And then I think obviously the dollar eventually has its downfall, and I think that's when they're going to start to introduce like the digitization of money. Like cash is almost going to be illegal to fucking use, I think, eventually. I hope not. But from the way things are going, I think that's going to be well within the realm of possibility. So yeah, net dollar up, bro. That's just hyper parabolic move in the dollar coming eventually. So be prepared for that until further notice. Let's go into the Euro USD. This one's a bit of a tricky market because we just keep grinding and grinding higher. We already breached this structure point here. We do have CPI, so be prepared. We could just push a little bit higher, spike higher, and then completely collapse. You do have this in terms of an inefficiency zone. Why is this inefficient? We don't really teach much of that here, but it is important to note because I don't want to keep adding stuff to our process that's going to confuse you. Well, why is this inefficient? Look, price was trending up, nice and consistent, and all of a sudden it fucking drops violently like that. This turning point has a fuck ton of liquidity. Keep that in mind. So price could make an interaction there before collapsing, or as I said, tomorrow CPI, we just start working our way lower. We do have that rising channel. What I don't like, take a look at the weekly. We are forming some type of funnel. But this right now is not to be trusted. And if it is trusted, well, we at least know, yeah, the 108 would definitely be the price splitter. 108. Oops. If price were to go anywhere, so two scenarios can unfold from here. We do a false manipulation at the low and then work our way higher, or we tap that high and then we just start continuing to contract. So this would obviously be ideal for our dollar long biases on the dollar CAD, but we also have to be very careful, man. As I said, I'm still on the fence about 105 being nicked. I think that's still a possibility. It could happen, but we have to just give it a little bit more time. And if that does happen, bro, this could be the trade of the fucking lifetime for us because the liquidity on the fucking euro is going to give us so much goddamn margin and leverage. Like, all we have to do is just find buy setups, and we're fucking raking cash, bro. We're going to be printing cash. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities to come. Bear that in mind. Just we have to be patient. And that's the one thing that I've been getting so much better at this year is just patience, man. If I don't see my setup, I'm not going to take it. So right now, short-term wise, I think this funnel right here already overperformed to target. I don't see any other funnels. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. Aussie dollar, same gimmick. This should follow along with other cross currencies against the dollar. This is a weird structure for me though. I don't fucking like this structure on the Aussie dollar. Yeah, we'll see how. Obviously, this is a key high right here. So we'll see. We'll see. Can it make that high? Absolutely. Yeah, I could certainly make that fucking high, to be honest. And then it collapses. Who knows? We wait and see. But nothing about this structure is interesting at the moment, other than we do have a funnel here. This is my only issue with this funnel, though, is that we do have high impact tomorrow. And CPI, once again, man, you got to take shit with a grain of salt. You can't just trust everything. We could probably see something like this on most of these pairs. Let me see with the euro, where it looks like it's trickling higher, and then once high impact news is injected, look what happened with the euro. This right here, this was a funnel. This was a clean fucking funnel. If we go into the hourly, right here, beautiful setup. Very, very tight range. Nice price splitter. And then news got injected, and then boom, completely collapsed. Fuck that setup over. And then that's it. So we could possibly, this was news injection right here. Whenever you see massive swings like that, that is high impact news. So bear that in mind, and we could see something very similar. It could just completely fucking collapse. So come news, we just fail, or we hit the price splitter during all of Asian session, and then we pop into the level and then just roll over. Who knows? Too much guesswork here, but yeah, we have to be careful, man. We do have, like I said, high impact news tomorrow, CPI, and it's anybody's guess from here. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it make target, you know, just in one clean pop. NZD USD. Another, not yet, as I said, man, this is another weird structure for me. If I were to short it, though, if I'm being honest, I don't even know if I would short it, man, to be honest. We do have a grind line break. That's a big no-no for us. Big no-no. Yeah, so shorting definitely wouldn't be ideal. But yeah, weird structure. Once again, it's not like to see, but I would not be surprised to see this stuff go higher. And just because you see other currencies against the dollar go higher, remember the dollar CAD has its own fundamentals too. It's a very politically news-driven pair, so it could move on its own accord. Pound dollar. I think the pound net, I think sees more lows, bro. I think we see more lows on the pound, but once again, man, these rallies they can outlast way longer than you think. So long as we remain on the front side of this move, you need to fucking stay long. Until I think another massive move that could present itself is once we start working our way higher and then we see some type of break. Yeah, bro, this right here would be an amazing opportunity to go fucking short, bro. You could just have a nice tight stop, run it down all the way to that fucking low. Slightly below it, as you know, it's going to breach it because there's liquidity there. You're looking at a 1 to 5. Obviously, we could tighten that up a little bit better, depending on where the break fucking happens. But yeah, bro, this could be a massive reward to risk trade. But so long as you remain on the front side of this move, you need to stay up. Dollar yen. Remember, other things are going up against the dollar, all the while the dollar is still pumping on its own accord. Dollar yen for me, I think could take out this high. But any setups that we would have taken, I think have already performed to target. Once again, study negative candle closes. That doesn't mean go balls to the walls long, but when you start to see negative candle closes, there are generally high probability turning points. High probability turning points. And then you have your little funnels here if you were to scope in on much more shorter time compressions. Yeah, but not the cleanest setups. We don't really need to go on all the other yen crosses because it's pretty much all the same shit. But I do like the Aussie yen, man, just because of how all these little microstructures played out. It was just fucking. I didn't even think this one was gonna be made, but overperformed. And then tomorrow, looks like we got more intervention from the Bank of Japan, 7:50 p.m. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, bro, tomorrow we could just fucking collapse. Like, just like that. Or we breach that high and then tank. Who knows? But I do see more downside. Or a period of weakness for yen. Period of strength for yen. Yeah, so once again, we're not going to cover that shit. Pound franc. I do believe macro-wise, as we discussed in a prior training, midpoint has to get fucking made for this. Easy. We still have plenty of room to go. So what does that mean? We also have a grind line break here. Now we just need to find our entry points on lower time compressions. And there's negative candle close. Look how reliable that shit is, man. You just take your fucking money at the high. It's possible that we base out for a little bit. We could contract here because we do have a key level right around here. So this does not mean go piling in on this trade. We got a key level at the 1.14. And generally when you see this high, when you start to see wicks at highs and lows, expect funnels, bro. That is something I want you to write down in your journals if you have them open right now. Whenever you see wicks on ranges or contractions, there's a high probability that you will see a funnel form. And we'll cover some examples. But yeah, I do think we base out for a little bit. And then we create a very high probability funnel. And then we just work our way into the target. So yeah, pound francs is definitely on our radar. CAD franc, a little bit tricky because we do have a funnel here with a target that still has to be made. But this is the kicker, man. This is why you just got to wait for your key moment. Grind line break. And this is problematic because this can confuse your ability to focus and an opportunity for you to execute a high probability trade. So when in doubt, just stay the fuck out, man. No, you don't have to trade something if it just does not make sense. We were on the notion that when we saw this manipulation, that price was at least going to tag this high. Here's the fucking problem with that. It didn't. And it just rolled over. Broke again. Break. First pullback from short sellers. Where do you think their stops are? Yep. Boom. Continuation. Retracement traders. And I think now we're just starting to squeeze them out. So if we get a secondary failure, that could mean significant weakness for the CAD franc. But I don't like how we bounce back inside the level and then close back below it. That's generally not good. But I also don't like how we have a funnel here that has this target to be made. So yeah, there's too much risk. But I would like to see the CAD franc lower. That's what I want to see. CAD franc lower. Aussie franc, different story. Aussie franc here. Let me see if we have some type of midpoint. Oops. Well, definitely. There you have it. A nice capitulative candle. You could argue that there's some type of funnel here. Midpoint. And there you go. Let's see if there's high volume there, at least close to the midpoint. Where you at? Yeah, here we are. You take it from the anchor point before the breakout. You don't go all the way to the breakout. That's another tip that I want you to write down. Take the volume by price before you start to get the initial break. Yeah, there you go. This is clean. Look at that break, pull back, return move into a high volume. Yeah, that's clean. A 90-10 setup. And you could scalp this higher. But remember, always anticipate, pull back, return move into the price splitter. And if you see a negative candle closer, oh man, that you margin out, bro. You margin the fuck out on those type of trades. Because you already know it broke out. Volume. Market is still up. I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for it to just reverse at this point, even though we did breach this high, but this is not a convincing place for it to just collapse. And it could make target before high impact news on May 20th. So if it does dump and you see a negative candle close at that conjecture point, y'all's got to fucking margin out, bro. Because you can, as we saw with one of the trades, I think it was a Euro CAD, dude, you get in with you could size the fuck in and you could get in with a very, very tight stop. And massive reward. I mean, I'm sure you could even clean that up a little bit. Depending on where it forms, you could probably get in a little bit lower. 1 to 8.72. Maybe more, maybe less. Who fucking knows? But you will know when we see it. But this is a 90-10 funnel. Price is still up. Why? So long. So you remain on the front side of this move. This market is up. There's your grind line. You tackle the extreme points. You draw your grind lines at the extreme points of the lows. So long as you remain above it, you can maybe even pierce slightly below it. That could be manipulation, but that's a buying opportunity, and then you run it to target. So we are going to have this on our watch list. But we wouldn't just pile in right now. I don't like chasing the breakouts. I like to be already positioning myself in as I see the funnel form. Because at least you get to break even quicker or lock in some money. NZD Frank. Oh, this is a nice trade. Just came back, flushed out these stops. As you can see, breakout, back in, and then boom, a target. But not the cleanest structures. USD Franc. I do like these negative candle closes. Once again, these are generally good turning point, good localized structures. But we've just been trending extremely high for the dollar franc for since the start of the fucking year. Since 2024, we've been doing nothing but trending for the better part of the second quarter. For 2 quarters now, really. Yeah, this is not a clean structure for me, so I wouldn't trust these lows. That's for sure. Because it could just collapse lower and then give you another opportunity. So, not the best structure. Dollar CAD, I do believe this macro structure is going to hold. I do think that this plays out. I don't know if it makes this macro target. It could. If we're still on that super spike on the dollar. But this is a clean macro structure. It could just get a little bit bumpy. I've highlighted this high volume area, which takes us right here. So we could see a massive dump into there and then a sharp bounce. And then we also have a secondary high volume where I've taken it from this initial high to this low. And it takes us there, which we kind of technically tapped into it. We came back to funnel support. So price keeps tapping this. Tap, 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 tap. That means that it's spacing out at funnel support. And it damn near pretty much wicked. It wicked the high volume breakout. Or high volume proximity. All this illustrates is where their big institutions are accumulating orders, because it takes a lot of volume to move price in one direction or the other. Just so you know. It takes a lot of orders and contracts and money to push a market even 50 fucking pips. I hope you guys know that, bro. And just that breakout alone, several hundred pips, I'm sure. Yeah, damn near 300 pips. That's a lot of money behind that move. There's probably still orders that need to get reaccumulated. Microstructure, not the biggest fan of it, but once again, we do have this low to keep us safe right now. And this negative candle close here, even though it did get breached. But this, I mean, I would reduce some exposure if we start working our way into that low for sure. Because I am pretty sized in floating, like at least 50,000 units right now. I would have to reduce some exposure so I can get in much more cheaply and then size in if I start to see price support within the price splitter. So dollar CAD is still long for me. We just have to wait and see how CPI plays out. I don't know, man. I've just seen this template so many times. Like it just looks like it's gonna fucking sell off. I know it looks like that, but when you generally, you're grinding lower and then you break out and then you just nose dive back into this grind line and these lows, this is signs of reaccumulation. So I said tomorrow we could just explode fucking higher. Just be ready for that. Be ready for anything really. But we'll see. We'll see. Not the best structure right now, but we're going to be patient just because I do believe, as I said, we do have this from the daily standpoint where price could continue to rip and at least make this target for sure. Dollar peso, nice little localized low there. Little recovery, but I wouldn't trade this right now. Nothing interesting other than maybe a grind line break. I still wouldn't trade it. Looks off to me. Aussie CAD. Ooh, talk about. Sometimes you're going to get this, man. Like I said, sometimes you're going to fucking get this. But this is why we don't trade with stops. Because look. Look at this shit. This gave you so many opportunities to buy in. So many fucking opportunities to get in. That's still the target. And I feel stupid because I did have... that's why. That's probably I forgot it. But we covered this in a training. Oh, I think I posted it in the Discord, actually. It was going to be on our watch list, but I fucking forgot about it because I didn't have it highlighted. But yeah, this is a little bit more complex because this is just a reaccumulation cycle, obviously, judging by the wicks and judging how it's basing out at the high volume area. This is just reaccumulation, and then we're finally getting signs of strength. So yeah, we've probably already missed this anyways. I don't think we'll get any little micro setups, little funnels. If we do, we could take it, but we've already missed that fucking trade. We need it to be already longing at these conjecture points here. But look what happens once again. If you place your stops, bro, they're gonna clean as much of your fucking orders as possible. This is rarely the case on highly liquid pairs, but when you trade very thin markets, expect a lot of manipulation like this. Something I want you to write down in your journals. You're rarely going to see a lot of chaotic price behavior on highly liquid pairs, but you will see it on thinly traded markets or exotic pairs. The Aussie CAD is it's a commodity against a commodity, So expect a lot of fucking manipulation. Almost done here, guys. Almost done. And by the way, if any of you have any questions while we're just gunning through these charts, just feel free to ask. Don't hold your tongue. Don't bite your tongue. Feel free to ask your questions. EuroCAD still structure very much intact. It was just a grueling way to the top because it is a bit of a macro one. We don't like these type of templates just because their success rate is a little bit lower for me. I like the little micro ones, bro. The ones that you could see clearly on the 50-minute to the hourly when you get a significant low breached. Because they're more likely to be highly probable and perform to targets. I get a little antsy when I start to see bigger templates play out. Those are very unreliable. But in this case, it played out very well, obviously. Still has, 30% more way of the way to go to make target, but this is the one we caught, bro. This, fucking, I wish I would have held a little bit longer, bro. I cut out too early on this pump. We could have made that high. But we got in exactly at that negative candle close, bro, and my stop was fucking tight. Let's look at the reward to risk on that. That was a fucking good day for me, bro. I think I got out somewhere, I think right there on that wick. Right there. Yeah, bro, that was big. I wasn't too sized in, but I had 70,000 units at that low. So yeah, I made like well over a fucking grand because I was still holding some trades on that. But I got out too fucking early, bro. I was trying to aim for that high, but I'm like, yeah, man, I hadn't had a big week like that in a while, so let me just take my fucking money. Even me, man, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna get emotional on my trades. I knew I should have held it to that high, especially if we were, we had that target still very much intact, needed to be made. But hey, I just took my fucking money on that pump, and that was it. So I made my money, man. That's the important thing. Let me see. Okay, let's go into the hourly. I want to illustrate. Yes, once you start to get wicky, at the highs and lows, expect the funnel to form. Actually, that's the whole point of that. Look at these wicks. Expect funnels to form. Fonzie Frank. Wicks. We're gonna see it a lot on the pound CAD right now. Give it a second. Yeah, pound CAD. Whenever you start to see wicks, don't be too quick to, as I said, cut your trades out because they're signs that you're going to get funnels form. Look at that. Wicks are signs that you're about to enter a range or that there has already been some form of manipulation conducted. Look at that. Whenever you start to see wicks, expect the funnel to begin forming. Oh, that was a clean one too. Clean one. Nice clean level right there. Round number. Oh, yeah. These are the trades, man. I'm telling you, you fucking margin the fuck out. You could grow a very small account very goddamn quickly just with these setups alone, man. Just with everything that we teach you. Significant weekly low breached. Grind line break. And there you go. Same shit, different day, week after week, year after year. Nothing fucking changes, guys. Once you see what we're teaching you, you cannot unsee it, man. And if you still don't get it, you're not working hard enough. It's all there, bro. Everything you need is all there in the Discord. And this is why we do these meetings, just so you see this stuff, man. You pay attention to these little details that you would have never caught otherwise. Negative candle close, that would have been another re-entry. And I know it looks like we're cherry picking stuff, which we are, but I mean we've caught this stuff in real time too. We're just playing devil's advocate right now, but we've caught this stuff in real fucking time. Negative candle close. I didn't get shaken out. Even when I saw this dip, I'm like, this is signs that even if it does breach that low, we're gonna bottom out. Negative candle close. We broke out. We might tap this funnel support and then go higher. I'm gonna start easing off my exposure here because then we could dump lower, do something like that. But I still think we're net up for the pound CAD. And I did make it very clear, guys, expect some fucking type of chop around this area. They're not going to make it easy for us to catch that long. And I still stayed in the trade. Hirowazi. Oh, as I said, this was a perfect A1 90-10 fucking setup on this, man. Grind line break, weekly low, type 2 structure, 1, 2, neckline, geometric structure, funnel. Once you got that break, and it made all these targets, and then you just take your money because what it does from there, you don't fucking know. But dude, this is as textbook as it gets. I mean, a baby could do this, dude. Is that fucking crazy? Pound Aussie, nothing interesting. Well, I don't want to say nothing because we're starting to get wiki. I like that. As I said, we're starting to chop around at a what? Key significant low. Let's plump that up. Let's see if there's a key level. Oh, well, look at that. Look at that. Key round number 1.90. 1.90. But this is gambling, right? It ain't none of that shit, man. It's the same repeatable stuff over and over and over again. You guys see what I see? Grind line break. What do? You just be patient and you wait, once again, for the setup to form. So this could chop around for a little bit more, but to me, I think this is the anchor point for the funnel. Once we can see a funnel form, I mean, it could go a little bit lower. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know, but what I do know is expect something to happen here. And as long as there's a midpoint where price starts to base out, that's going to lead to an explosive move higher. So we're putting this on our watch list. It's going to take a bit, probably until next week. We'll see an opportunity on that. But there's money everywhere, man. Money every goddamn week, guys. You need to be excited because this is literally, we're printing fucking cash. Euro New Zealand is definitely a nasty chart. I wouldn't fucking touch this to save my life if I had to. I would have been dead anyways because there's nothing I could do here. There's nothing tradable. This is too weird of a range for me. Pound NZD. Target's already been made on this one anyways. So nice grind line break. Significant low breached. Weekly low. Negative candle close. Break of that grind line. Wait for the funnel. Boom. You're in. You're out. That's it, man. Take your fucking money. Stay the fuck out. Cannot make this stuff up. This is what gives me confidence on our Aussie Singapore dollar because this one already performed to targets. Look at that. When you start to see wicks, expect a contraction. Negative candle close on the pullback return move. This is where you fucking margin out, guys. I would be very mindful of how close you place your stop because look at these algorithms. They're not fuck around and find out, bro. It would have just nicked you if you had massive size. It would have just nicked you only to watch the trade go your favor, bro. That's why I fucking hate trading with stops, man. You have to know when to do it. I'm not against them. But they're very, very useful, bro. But we utilize them at very strategic points. Oh, look at that, man. There's that little baby right there. Getting all peppered up, man. Little Bobby Dipshit's getting his little Willie peppered up right there, man. There's the morning wood. Might go a little flaccid tomorrow. But net, this is up. Target at 0.90152. Let's see if there's high volume here. I don't think so. Well, actually, there should be because we just did the breakout. Oh, yeah, perfect. Right above. Yeah, there you go. This is it. Or it could just continue to rip into target. I don't fucking know, man. But as I said, always expect some form of pushback on your position. So it can still be a slow week, man. We're probably going to be holding this till the end of the week, honestly. It's Wednesday. Let me see. Wednesday, when is the end of the week? 17, Friday. Yeah, we probably won't even see this make targets until next week, really. We have, Westpac consumer confidence. Yeah, we have some big heavy hitters. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Thursday, Fridays are parabolic days anyway, so we could just probably pop into that. Euros are. I mean, I wanted to take a quick scalp. I don't like the structure though. Why? Because when you go in on the daily, I don't. This is what I don't like to fucking see. This is you don't want to be trading funnels when you're already as high as you possibly could fucking be on this, dude. They're very low probability. So yeah, if you do take setups on the Eurozar, just be very, very careful. Um, no, I'm not even gonna try to draw one out here, bro. There's just I don't know. Wouldn't trade it. Euro, Turkish lira, something I've been keeping an eye on. I've been doing a little bit of back testing on this. 'Cause, I mean, there's just some pairs, bro, that are just how do I put this? They're just almost a guarantee trade if you know where to fucking trade them. Oh, damn, I forgot this is where we did our session. I already have the pictures though. I'm gonna delete it all. Like I said, this, like, if you just traded the market in one fucking way, you just have to make money. Speaking of markets in one fucking way, I haven't checked out the Euro Franc in a long time. See how this puppy is doing. Um, yeah, man. I said Euro Franc definitely sub nines, sub eights, and I think we're gonna continue to capitulate like this. So I think we're getting very, very close. Yeah, we're getting very close to another capitulated moment. So we're probably going to start deploying some small shorts, small positions, just for a longer macro hold on that, and we'll probably get positive carry for holding the Euro Franc anyways. Um, there's something I want you guys to pay attention to when before you get the capitulation. I'm going to look at other markets that capitulate, but usually they have this little rally and then they start to base out. It's kind of like a double top almost, and then they just start to accelerate lower. And then you create that capitulation before the next bounce. So let me see. Let me see. I know I've seen it. Aussie dollar. Here you go. This is what I'm talking about. Before you capitulate, kind of have this like little rally. You gotta just work some highs, and you just start to break